Welcome to Casual Conversations.
ASMR.
Welcome back, guys. Brian, your host here, with my co-host, Elena. As you can see, cocktail is in hand. We are ready to go into kick off our 4th of July weekend and enjoy a 3-day weekend. And we thought, why coffee today? Let's get into ready for our Independence Day.
Not being able to get rid of your friends. You just have to see them every weekend. It's the most annoying thing. I saw them last night, saw them last weekend. Can't get rid of them.
She can't get rid of us. She can't get rid of us. Anyway, guys, first of all, we hope you guys have a phenomenal 4th of July weekend with your families. We hope you guys take this time to decompress, recharge the batteries, and we thought that'd be a good thing to talk about today.
Keep all your limbs.
Yeah, don't blow anything off when you get excited. My brother and her husband love to fire off fireworks, so they're little pyros.
Goes, how much are we spending for fireworks? And I go, babe, come on. He's like, well, we got a lot more donors this year. I'm like, we have the HOA fireworks tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, guys, I'll kick in $100. Like, they get all so mad about it. I'm like, we have a free one that's amazing.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, so we thought today we would talk off topic as usual. See, we're already in vacation mode. We would talk about balance. We talk about work on this show a lot. We talk about her real estate, my business, teams, stress, but we spend very little time talking about chill and giving yourself a break and the importance of shutting work down and being present with your families. And like any athlete that's out there, you train. Well, if you ask any well-trained athlete, they'll tell you how important recovery is as well, and how you have to rest your body and mentally get into the right frame of mind, and physically ice your body and let your body heal. This is the same thing, right? And going into a long weekend, it's a time that we love. I love the 4th of July weekend. The lake house is always phenomenal, but it's just a really good time to shut work completely off and not worry about it. And
must be nice, right?
She's a real estate agent.
I just put 2 under contract yesterday, so I've been negotiating inspections over the weekend.
I'll watch her work. But see, so you know what? She's our target listener. So Elena needs to listen to me and be like, Elena, you got to figure out a way to shut it down. Sometimes it's hard.
I'm trying.
It's hard when you're a real estate agent and weekends are predominantly your busy time, and the real estate market never shuts it down.
Yeah, they don't care.
Hopefully they don't care. Most of the customers don't either, but you gotta shut it down, and you gotta just completely shut work off, shut your phone off, be present with your families, because those are the moments that you're gonna. What are you doing it for?
I did that for Father's Day.
I was impressed by it.
I mean,
kind of.
Why?
Well, no, you still answered it like you did.
I told you I'm putting my phone away.
You did.
And then I stayed there. Because it's important to goal for me to put my phone away, and it sounds silly for that, honestly, and I feel bad when you think about it. You're like, I want my gift from you to not be on your phone at all today. But he also knows that's a big ask, because I can't not just be present at all during the day. I have to at least check my phone. Like, we're going on vacation next weekend. I already told him, I was like, I have to check my phone and emails in the morning, and then I'll do it in the evening, and that's it. Other than that, like, the response times will be delayed. And
this is the part of the job that people don't see in sales, right? They see people that are in the sales fields, and they see a certain income level or certain livelihood these people live, and they are quick to assume like, oh, you must have it so nice. Look at you, life's so easy. You have all these things around you. You've got a nice house. You've got money in the bank. You have all these things, but they don't realize is that. Right? You got to wake up every morning. You got to check emails at night. Do you really get to shut work off, or are you just bringing work to the destination that you're going to, right? And Elena does that a lot. I've done that a lot, although I've gotten better over the years. But I also have a team of people that I can say, hey, guys, I'm going on vacation. I'm forwarding my calls. I'm forwarding my emails. Elena's not there yet. One day she's going to have a team.
I am looking for a buyer's agent. I'm going to put that out there.
All right, there you go.
But if you suck, don't call me.
She's hard, man. She's hard. You better be a winner. Your
boss is going to be tough.
You know what? I couldn't work for her. There's no way, man. Dictator. But what are some of the things that you like to do when you shut it down? Like, when you shut it down, what are some of the things that you just enjoy doing to relax?
Like, I like our group vacations, going to the beach, obviously. We're lucky that we have my in-laws' lake house, so that's a quick weekend getaway. Really just being, I know it sounds silly, but Cole and I are just like Cole and Elena mode right now. Like, we just want to be home. Like, we went on a date. I know you're gonna judge me for this. I know you're gonna judge me.
I don't judge anybody.
So drink some High Noon before you judge me.
I don't judge anybody.
Drink up. So last weekend, we had a babysitter, but we made the mistake of getting the babysitter too early. We got the babysitter at 5:30, which we probably should have done like 6:30, 7:30. So he and I went to dinner at 6, and then we finished this new sushi spot around the corner at like 7, and then we're like, okay, we're tired, now what? And so then we ended up going to a place to play shuffleboard and darts and pool, and like after 45 minutes, we're like, we just want to go home and play Plunder. So we were home. We told the babysitter Kian to go to bed at 8:30, which is late for him. And we were home before Kian was even in bed. And we told the babysitter, we're like, we're so sorry. We just like our house. Like, to us, we're like, why would we spend money to like go drink and do stuff when we have drinks at home, and we wanted to play Plunder, and then we ended up watching a movie, and then I fell asleep at like 10:30.
No, which is great, but that's what you guys needed to do to unplug.
Well, we went to a nice new restaurant. So.
Yeah, which is good. And sometimes, like I said, being home and just cooking meals at home, it's more about just the stress of quiet.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that, you know, not having Kian running around like crazy.
Yeah.
You guys just need that break from the neediness of a toddler.
Yeah.
You know, all those things are ways that you can shut it down. It doesn't have to necessarily mean you have to go out or go do something or spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think that's perfect. I'm not judging at all. I love doing that because, I mean, I also do it all the time. Now, my kids are older, so it's rare that my house is actually loud because my kids are always in a hurry to get out of here, right? They want to go on sleepovers, go hang out with friends. Dylan wants to be with his girlfriend. And so I'm trying to drag my kids back in to the house, right? And,
it's funny how it changes like that.
It does. And
like, we were leaving last night.
You miss it. You miss it.
We were leaving last night to y'all's thing, and King goes, I don't want you to leave. I'm like, dude, you're so dramatic. We'll be home in like 2 hours, and you know that.
Right, right. And that gives them the independence too. But, you know, like I said, it's, you know, you want to, it's just, again, when you push, and me and Leonard are drivers, and we're drivers by nature, and we've got a very big gas tank. So we could take on a lot. We could work a lot of hours. We could work a lot of days in a row, and it doesn't really faze us. The hard part for Elena and I is separating ourselves from that work mode because we become perfectionists. Yeah. Because we become so focused on doing well for our accounts that it's sometimes we don't take a step back and say, you know what, I just gotta chill. I gotta put my phone on the counter. I can't touch it. I need to refuel. I need to recharge. I need to recover. I need to sleep in. I need to get some rest. I need to just be with my family and play games with no outside distractions. And we got to do more of those type of things.
I think because, like, for instance, on Father's Day, there was a sense of guilt that I wasn't near my phone for my clients. And Cole said something along the lines like, oh, no, you do it for your ego. I'm like, no, honey, I have deadlines. I have clients who need me. Like, that's part of what I signed up for, you know, is not by choice anymore, but I am technically a 24/7 shop. I just now have certain hours, but I do have to be available every day of the week.
Yeah, and there's got to be guidelines and standards for when customers know that, hey, you know, you can't be expected to get a response at 11 o'clock at night. Like, you still have to get rest. You still have a family. You still have things that are, you know, that's outside the norm, even though we do. Yeah. Because Elena and I will text sometimes late at night. Usually it's motivational clips or a video Stupid that we reels. Watched or TikTok or a reel that we saw that, you know, motivated ourselves for the next day. And I love those things. And a big part of it, too, is that, like I tell Allison, a lot of my job is I enjoy it. Yeah, so to me, it's not a chore. It's not a chore to send that extra email. It's not a chore to take that phone call. It's who I am as a person. And we didn't sign up for an 8 to 5 gig. And guys, if you're out there and you're selling or you're a salesperson or you are actively looking at getting into a sales type role because you know that there's income potential in those roles, just know it's not coming with an 8 to 5 gig. It is going to be a 12 to 13 hour day. There's going to be weekends you have to work. There's got to be vacations you're going to work, and you're going to have to grind for a long time. And yes, it's rewarding financially. It can be rewarding financially depending on what field you're in, but again, it's extremely important to recover because I do believe that when you go too hard for too long, you end up doing a disservice to your clients. You're not the best. Too. Yeah, but you're not going to be the best realtor you could be. No. You're not going to engage with your clients as well as you could have because you're burned out, because you're tired, because Elena's finally like, okay, I hit a wall. Now I gotta recharge.
Well, I made a post about it. I think was it last week or Sunday, because Sundays are my family days, right? And Sunday mornings with my kid is one of my favorite times of the week because it's super lazy and laid back. It's fun. We play games, anyways. So I made a little reel about it, and I put in there. I was like, I am a better realtor when I am a better mom and wife. Like
Yeah.
when my home life is taken care of first, my real estate business will fall after in the same tone of how my household is doing, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense because you don't have that weight, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
but
have
also slight resentment towards my, like, I remember when all I did was work,
Mm-hmm.
and I would resent my job because it was hurting my family life.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so caught up in that chase. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just a different type of hustle now.
It is, but like I said, the hustle has become easier and bigger. I mean, look at what you've done now. Look at how many things are falling into place for you. But like I tell people all the time, when you don't have the drama of a house, a broken marriage, a stressful relationship with your spouse or your significant other, issues with your kids or stress with the kids, if you can eliminate all those things, or not eliminate them, if they're minimized to where it's manageable, it translates to your professional life because you don't have that stress. It's like I tell my guys, I don't ever want you to worry about paying your electric bill. I want you to know food's on the table, bills are paid, because if all your focus is how am I going to get through the next month to month, you're not giving me 100% effort in the job that I need you to do.
You're not focused on the right thing.
Right. So if I could take that stress off your plate, like you just said, if I could take the stress off my plate of marriage is good, husband's happy, my son's happy, family unit's intact, we're all the right. Now you're a powerhouse, and you take that to your professional life, and it translates at the 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, it's not as much pressure under your butt.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm looking forward to the lake. We have an amazing fireworks show that we get very spoiled by the Sweetser Lake House. So shout out to the
fireworks
Sweetsers.
are literally on top of us. So everybody comes in the cove, and everybody has to line up on their boats, and then we get to just sit on the lawn and literally just watch it from, like, we just look up in the air.
We got very
Very
spoiled,
nice.
and the Sweetsers, are so grateful, or we are grateful for them for including us every year in this weekend.
Did
We
I
look
tell
forward
you
to it every year. It's a
Joe was
blast.
recording me at the lake. Was it 2 weekends ago? When was our book club thing? Last weekend?
I don't know.
2 weekends ago. To sing the Star Spangled Banner. What is it? No, it just went in my mind.
National anthem.
Thank you.
Wow.
High noon.
High noons.
High noon. I only had 2 sips. Weak. Anyway, she was recording me, obviously, after a bottle of wine, because she knows I don't really sing unless I have that little buzz.
Yeah.
And she was recording it, so she gave it to the HOA president so I could sing it for the fireworks show this year.
Good.
No, I'm not going to. You know me. I'm a chicken out. I chicken out for your Hawaiian party.
She's not going to chicken out. She says this, guys. She has said that a million times. I can't tell you how many times we've got her on a piano, how many times we've got her singing. We got to get her in the
You
right
have to
mode.
give me the right buzz.
It's got to be the right, yeah. It's
Not too soon, not too late.
Yeah, it's a very small window, and the guys out there, similar to the window you want to put your wives in. There's a magic window, and every guy knows that window. And you want one drink too many, you lost it.
Cole's like, let us sing it tonight. Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. One drink too little, and you're not going to get them to come out of their shell. So that's kind of the similar to what, yeah, exactly. Where Elena is when she sings, but she has a beautiful voice. She sings, and hopefully we'll convince her to do it.
I used to sing the national anthem in college before basketball games. Did you know that?
You do it at a college game, and you're going to worry about the lake house amongst your family and friends?
Yeah, and I did it for I think 2 soccer games, the boys. But
So you can do it in front of a crowd of people, then you certainly can do it in front of the family that has
then
heard you sing multiple times.
we'll see.
We'll
I don't know.
We'll get her in that time.
Yeah. Oh, Haley, you're failing.
Wow.
Haley.
Kids inside. This is the real life that we live, guys. This is the real life that we live. So that was it. Impromptu.
You know what I want to talk about, though, for vacation?
Yes.
So we're going to enjoy the weekend.
Yes, we are. It's going to be a
because-
great weekend.
So as you know, I planned a vacation for me, Cole, and Kian at the end of the year.
Okay.
Italy. And there's always
Italy, I like it.
There's always been this back and forth, though, like traveling with your kids outside the country.
Uh-huh.
And I know y'all used to do it. How old were the kids when you did it?
I'd have to remember. They were fairly young. I don't think they were as young as Kian when we took them over.
Yeah.
But
you guys weren't as old as me and Cole.
I want to say the first time we took them overseas, they might have been like 11 or 12, probably in that range.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, Keen's your family, so
Yeah.
so you want to. I mean, you want to expose. I mean, for us, it was exposing our kids to all these cultures,
Yes.
and when we take vacations very seriously because we love to travel.
Yeah.
That's my wife and I's biggest vice.
You love to
again.
travel and you love to experience.
Yes, and well, for me, it's learning, right? It's learning about other cultures. It's learning, letting my kids see how well we have it here and how others manage day to day with much less, and in my opinion, a lot happier. I mean, when you look at and there's something to be said about that. And you go, especially when you travel overseas or to Europe, I think people live more simpler lives, and they just seem happier overall. And I try to wrap we need to embrace some more of that. It's just challenging to do it here in the United States because we are in a driven society. We're chasing the next thing. We are, we're always comparing where we are to other people. And I think over there in general, they're not that way. They're very family oriented.
Yeah.
It's
not as judgy. Like
it's a lot slower. The pace is slower, which is why I love going over there.
When we did our England-Ireland trip, and it was in England when we were in Oxford, and we stayed at B&B outside Oxford, and it had this little pub and a field. And so there was hot air balloons actually the night we were there. And I remember Cole and I just looked like these awkward Americans because we were just in the corner watching these families, and they just got done with a soccer match, football match, and they were all sitting there. Not one parent was paying attention to their kid because they don't have to, not in a bad way. Like they were the kids were playing in a little soccer area.
Let them have fun.
Yeah, and they were there, and they were just sitting there with their pints, and they were laughing, and they were there for hours. And I told Cole, it's you don't really get that in America.
Well, we just we all have ADD. We're all gung ho. We're all. My wife, she's can't sit still. Sitting down, the conversation, what we're doing right now, having my wife out here sitting down for a half hour, an hour, just talking. Yeah. That's not her.
Put a puzzle.
Put a puzzle in front of her. She'll have some conversation, but she's just not that way. So
she and I are the same though. When we go to the lake or whatever, if people are just sitting there outside and just talking, we're
yeah, she wants to fall asleep.
That's why we're we need to play games.
Yes.
And y'all give a shit all the time about it too.
What's that?
Remember when you were at our house last time and you guys were just chilling outside and the girls came out okay, do you guys want to play games?
Yep.
You're why do we always have to play games? Because our brains are getting tired.
Well, because us guys can sit around for hours and have the conversation.
Or watch sports and say no words to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
It makes perfect sense. It's called chill, Elena. It's called chilling down and doing nothing. I can easily do nothing with the best of them. And that's what I hope to do. This weekend, I hope to do as much of that as possible. And then, get my day started late.
Zelda.
Oh, good. Good. We'll see her. Now we're going to see her play Zelda. So now it's not I get Plunder, puzzles, now Zelda, and I'm the one that's 10 years older than her. Just remind everybody.
Are you bringing your Plunder? I forgot mine.
Probably. Sure.
Okay, so back to traveling with kids.
Yes.
So I purposely went on one of the mom groups, and I asked, I was those who travel with the kids around my son's age, pros and cons, whatever. And to my surprise, majority of the moms, and I do think it, I don't mean to say this a bad way, but I do think it depends on those who can afford to take out of country.
Sure.
If that makes sense, because you have that judgment from some that can, and they're they'll never remember, and it sounds bad, but what I mean, because I've been in that position, but it's those people saw it differently. They're we're taking our kids on experience with us as a family.
Well, because you're going to remember the experience. The kids don't have to remember it. You're going to remember the experience.
Well, and I think about
but it is a big part of it. The cost is definitely a big part of it.
Yeah.
Especially when again, it's an expensive trip, right? It's not a cheap trip. Going overseas is not, you can make it inexpensive when you go at certain times of year. Again, you going in the winter, it's going to be a lot cheaper than people that are going in the summer. I've traveled at Thanksgiving time, and I think it's the best time to go over there because it's half the price because it's in the off season. You have all the monuments and museums and churches and all those things that are pretty much wide open. You don't have long lines of people that you're waiting for. Yeah, you deal with a little bit colder weather, but overall, it's a reasonable trip to go. The one thing I would have you urge you to think about is the walking. Because over there, well, not only that, the toddler. So you walk a lot. It's not like an Uber system. There's trains and subways and things like that. But for the most part, you walk a lot throughout the day and you take that city in. Yeah. That's where it can be more of a challenge.
I think he's been hitting the gym hardcore, jiu-jitsu lately.
Oh,
I'm training him up.
Keen could probably make it. Cole, I worry about. Cole might need some more breaks, but like I said, I think you do what's best for your family.
You best make best of it. And Cole and I went back and forth. Bring him, not bring him, bring him. And at the end of the day, I'm he will never be 5 again. And so this is where we went in our phase of our life. We're in a place we can financially do it. Yeah. And I'm and I want him to experience different cultures. No matter if he remembers or not, I think experience do stick with you subconsciously.
Well, look at Kristen and Vinny. Kristen and Vinny have brought Nathan and Evan really young ages. Yeah. You look at those. Those kids were in the Philippines when they were younger than Kian. they probably went to multiple countries at Kian's age, and they got through it just fine. So I think it's to each his own. I think you do what's best.
It's a different type of trip.
It's a different kind of trip. I think you do what's best for you and your family. It depends on what you and Cole are trying to do, what you guys want to see, and if it's just seeing all the sites and the monuments and those type of things, that's open. It's not like those are adult only type things.
Well, I told Cole, I was like, let's be honest, we're going to be clubbing at 4 a.m. in Milan? No. I was like, so it doesn't matter if our kid comes, because it's not like we are missing out not going clubbing.
You guys are going to see Italy, and you're going to find out all the reasons why I fell in love with it. And then
I'll be calling you, I found us a villa to invest in.
Don't even tease me. Don't even tease me with a good time. I'm doing that right now. I got Allison looking in to try to, because my heritage, I've been blowing up my Aunt Gina. Shout out to my Aunt Gina, who listens all the time. I've asked her for so much family heritage on going back to my grandpas and death certificates and where they were born, because you could buy in Italy, but as long as you have heritage there, if they were born there, and you could trace back trace that back to yourself, you can buy real estate in Italy. It's a lot more of a process.
Why don't you just get the 23andMe or whatever it's called?
I have that. I have all that, but you have to have proof. You have to show. You have to show your whole history to and those type of things.
Because my Benavides, my maiden name with an S, is rooted, to my knowledge, to Spain. Which is funny because people call me Mexican all the time. That's my child solo cup.
Oh yeah, it's fine. You like attention.
But yeah, so that, I wonder if there's something there in Spain, and then you get Italy, I get Spain.
Trade?
Yeah.
Trade swap houses?
That would be cool.
That would be.
But once you're in Europe, I mean, it's much easier to kind of bounce around.
Everything's right there. I mean, especially when you look at Texas. So you put Texas over Europe, and I think you could hit like 9 countries for what the state of Texas covers as far as geographically how much space it takes.
Did you know there's a Benavides, Texas with an S?
I didn't.
There is. Now you know.
She teaches me something every day.
I found out because I went to the state fair with my family. Well, first of all, my dad's dad said, the old man when I moved here, there's a Benavides, Texas, but he was the type, like, he always said weird stuff. Like, okay, Grandpa. And then my parents came visit when I first moved here, and we went to the state fair. And up there it said Benavides, with an S, nachos. And so my parents were like, how did you do that? I'm like, I didn't do that. So we went and talked to him, like, yeah, we're from Benavides, Texas. Like, no shit, Grandpa was not lying.
Grandpa has some knowledge up there. He remembered. That is funny. I know. So
I have a picture on my Instagram from when we first moved here. It says Benavides nachos, and then I was still Benavides then because I wasn't married. So it was my parents and me. We're like,
Grandpa knew what he was doing. Grandpa knew what he was doing. That's funny. Yeah, but what are you guys doing for the 4th of July?
Yeah.
What do you guys do? Just like I said, this is was more of a laid back kind of easygoing conversation today. We wanted to break it up a little bit. I think Elena and I get so focused on work stuff that we naturally gravitate towards those kind of conversations because we're in the thick of it every day. But the 4th of July is a great reset. It's right in the middle of the year. I think the timing of it's fantastic, just to kind of recharge your batteries, and recharging your batteries is different for everybody. And sometimes people will look at it on the outside looking in, thinking, okay, you're working, and you're like, this is my hobby. This is fun. Yeah. The real estate stuff is fun. The grind is fun. I don't look at that as work, right? And sometimes I get like that with my job as well. Where I'm like, this is not work to me. This is this is fun. This is more of a hobby than anything else. I get to enjoy what I do, but. That being said, you got to, when you hit a wall and there's a time and a place where you need to recharge, and again you just need, I highly urge you to shut your phones off completely, shut social media off, literally just turn the phone off. And when you realize just how much better you feel, it's kind of like what you've said before, when you work out or whatever, you hate doing it, but once it's done, you'll love how you feel afterwards.
Like the results. And it's the same way when you think about like the importance of being fully present. Like you can't recharge if you're not fully present. You know what I mean?
How are you present with Kian when he's looking up and he sees the Duomo or he sees Florence, the churches, and he's mommy, and you're looking down on your phone the whole time.
Yeah.
You're missing out on his reaction. You're missing out on how big it seems to him.
Yeah.
What's crazy is when he goes over there, as little as he is in the age he's at now, and he sees the sheer size, because you and Cole are already going to be blown away by this stuff. To him, he's going to be like, this is giant. This is like insane how big this stuff is.
Well, it's so funny too, because of course when we told him, we're like, dude, you're going to have the best pizza in the world and the gelato. So he was telling our babysitter last weekend, he goes, I'm going to Italy, I'm going to have the best pizza in the out.
He is.
And he goes, and gelato every day.
The food
and I
is
told
on
Cole,
point.
I was like, it reminds me of Disney, you know, when he went to Disney the first time. And you have people like, they're never going to remember. And you guys are the ones who convinced us to go because you're like, but you remember.
Correct.
And I still have a video that I've watched on repeat with him that still brings me to tears. His first Disney parade. And this one is full-blown Mickey and Minnie mode. And they're walking by, and he goes, Pluto, Chip and Dale, and he's like tearing up because they're like right in front of him.
They're his heroes.
Yeah,
they're his heroes.
Front row, and they're right in front of him. And he just couldn't fathom that he was this close to his favorite characters in the world. And I remember sending my best friend Mackenzie, and she was like, I'm tearing up over this. And so I will never forget that moment. And so I told Cole, it's like,
that's
I know
why you do it.
I know it sounds silly, but I'll never forget the look on his face when they put because he's a good eater. He's a good eater. Put that pizza in front of him, and his face, and then he eats it. When he eats good food, the way he does his little dance, like I just know we're just gonna love it as family.
So look at everything Elena just said right there. You think about how that resonated with you.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. And when you hear people say all the time, "Oh, they're not going to remember." And I get the expense part of it, but a lot of people just, you know, they let the expensive stuff rule everything. And guys, I'm not an idiot. We understand that you have to have financial means to be able to do these things. And Disney, in my opinion, has gotten absolutely ridiculous with how expensive it is. I think it's stupid because I think the average family doesn't ever get to get those experiences because they've made it so expensive. So I think that Disney has done a poor job when it comes to that because you're taking away a lot of kids' joy. And it should be more about that, in my opinion. But I remember the same thing when, you know, Addison saw Gaston, and she had, you know, from Beauty and the Beast, and she like it was like, oh my gosh, she had this little crush on him when she was 6 years old. And you know, when Dylan went on It's a Small World for the first time, and me and Allison are just literally cracking up. Or I saw my wife have tears to her eyes because the kids see Princess and the Frog the first time, or whatever and you're going, okay, this is why you do it. And yes, we spent extra money, and yes, they're not going to remember the first couple times they went to Disneyland or Disney World, but we are going to remember how their face lit up. We are going to remember how 100%. And that's why it's so worth it. And that's why we travel. We urge every one of you guys to do it. I think Allison and myself have probably pushed multiple other people to do it because they realize that what are you working your tails off for if you never get to go enjoy things or do things differently? I just have never wrapped my head around the materialistic stuff, right? Some people are like, oh, I make good money, I'm going to go buy a brand new truck. I want to buy a boat. I want to buy a motorcycle. I want to buy these material things. They look at it as like, well, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well get something out of it. For me, you're going to eventually get bored with that. That car is going to lose it's not going to be as important. It's not going to be that big of a deal. The motorcycle you thought you were always going to ride is going to end up sitting in the garage.
But the memories you get from traveling and the experiences.
Yes.
That's what we find the value in.
Yes.
And luckily I married somebody who finds the same joy in traveling as I do.
And nothing helps recharge your battery. So full circle back to this conversation is, in my opinion, nothing will help you recover, recharge your batteries more than shutting it off, being with your family, creating those memories, creating those experiences for yourself, creating those memories for yourself, and exposing yourself to all these different things. This world is so huge. There's so much to get out of this life. Go do it. Exactly.
Now, speaking of battery,
yes,
I'm going to give everybody, so all of our 19 listeners, you're the first to know.
19?
We do.
We're only at 19?
No, we probably have more. Just so far, last week's was 19 listens, which I think is pretty good.
I don't know, man.
Normally bumps up to like 40.
We might have to have a little talk with our social. We
got to get on her. I know, but what I'm saying is, for those of you who are listening, you're the first to know, and I want to see your reaction.
Okay.
Of a new book I'm currently writing.
Okay.
Children's book called Kian's Little Heart Battery.
Okay.
And what it is, it comes from, because what we do is, like, if I'm feeling sad or he's feeling sad, I'll say, I need my heart battery charged, and he'll give me a hug, and we'll go boom, 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 boom. So that's what the whole book's gonna be.
I like it.
How to charge.
As she doesn't have enough, so when she gets all stressed out, she gets all overworked, and then all of a sudden she's like, I'm gonna write another book. She does it to herself, people. Self-inflicted. I'm getting to the point where I'm not gonna feel sorry for her anymore. I don't want you to feel sorry for her either, because she complains about how she doesn't have any time for anything.
And then she takes
I'm not mean. I love it, but we do it. I said, me and Elena are the epitome of bitching and complaining and not changing and making it worse.
Complainer.
And then go do it and make it worse.
That's right.
Yeah.
So go charge your heart battery.
Go charge your heart
boom,
battery.
boom, boom, boom.
Go charge your batteries. Have a phenomenal 4th of July with your families.
Don't be stupid
Shut
with
it down.
fireworks.
Plan a vacation. Play games with your friends.
Yeah.
Make memories with your kids. For the love of God, put your phones down and just go enjoy being around people.
And never forget, America.
America. It's the best place ever.
See you next week.
Take care.